Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a...
Hello everyone, Darko2012 here with Global Government News, and I'm covering an article from February 20th, 2010. It's coming from the LA Times, and it is going to be filed under Big Brother. Okay, and it is titled, Arizona Speed Cameras Incite a Mini Revolt. A masked man, a citizens group, a judge, and other motorists are behind the fight against photo enforcement, it says. Reporting from Phoenix, Arizonans drive long distances on their highways, and they do like it fast. But since the Grand Canyon State began enforcing speed limits with roadside cameras, motorists are raging against the machines. They have blocked out the lenses with post-it notes or silly string. During the Christmas holidays, they covered the cameras with boxes and complete with wrapping paper. One dissenting citizen went after a camera with a pickaxe. Wow. Arizona is the only state to implement photo enforcement, as it is known, on major highways, and is one of the 12 states and 52 communities plus the District of Columbia with speed cameras, according to the nonprofit Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. And there's one of those little gadgets right there. It said Arizona is using traffic cameras as, quote, Big Brother tactics to generate money. The cameras, paired with radar devices, photograph vehicles exceeding the speed limit by 11 miles per hour or more. A notice of violation carrying a fine of $181.50 is then sent to the address of the vehicle's registered owner. In California, speed cameras are illegal, but Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, the conservative, proposed a program to add speed enforcement capabilities to 500 red light cameras to generate $338 million for the 2010-11 budget. The proposal is unlikely to be part of the legislator's upcoming budget recommendations. State Assembly Budget Committee Chairwoman Noreen Evans, Democrat from Santa Rosa, has described the proposals as silly. It is using Big Brother tactics to balance the state budget, she said. It's outlandish. This is a Democrat from Santa Rosa. So for all you liberals who think that it's liberal to have cameras spying on you and invading your privacy, there are Democrats out there that believe in constitutional rights, such as invasion of privacy and everything else that goes along with it. It's using Big Brother tactics to balance the state budget, she said, and it's outlandish. That's certainly been the reaction in Arizona, where the cameras have incited a mini revolt. Initially, the cameras were thought of as a revenue generator expected to bring in more than $90 million in the first fiscal year of operation. But from October 2008, when the program began, to October 2009, the cameras generated about $19 million for the state's cash-strapped general fund, according to a report on photo radar released by the Arizona Office of the Auditor General last month. As of September, only 38% of issued violations were paid, the report said. This does not mean that the program lacks defenders. The number of fatal collisions investigated on state highways in 2009 was the lowest in 15 years. It says a figure that Lieutenant Jeff King of Arizona Department of Public Safety attributes to tough drunk driving laws and photo enforcement. So, the authorities always like to use these figures. And, of course, when it comes down to let's say, not having any gun bans, just having basically allowing you to utilize your Second Amendment freely is again, as the Constitution states. Usually you're going to have lower crime rates, lower murder rates, and all that other good stuff that goes along with it. So, but they like to take numbers and just kind of use that as a way to justify, right, the ends of the means. Well, I guess you could say if you kill mothers, then you can prevent abortions. And so let's just kill all mothers, right? And I'm not even going to go there as far as what I believe. But, I mean, it's just as insane as that. It has nothing to do with anything, and it doesn't justify anything. When he says it's because of photo enforcement and tough drunk driving laws. You know how much money they're making off of us with those drunk driving laws? They are making a killing. And they don't go after the illegals that are driving drunk with no insurance and no license. No, they don't go after them. They're going after the people that are just the average Joe that don't have much money, that went out there one day a week with what little money they had about 3 or 4 beers, and then they bust them, right? And then they take your car, and it's $3,000 fine and another $3,000 fine and all that good stuff, right? Court fees, and man, dude. That's why if I go out, I don't drink. That's it. And it sucks. They ruined it, right? They killed it. They suck the fun out of it. It says, we believe the camera should stay up. Of course he is. He's a fascist pig, right? Who is the district commander for the program. The program was designed to encourage people to pay the fine and not to fight their violations. Encourage people to pay the fine and not fight their violations. No points are added to an offender's license, and it doesn't affect insurance. Oh, isn't that nice? But critics note that hasn't stopped people from wanting their day in court. Yeah, they about half of the total violations issued are still pending because people have ignored the tickets or requested hearings to challenge them, according to the State Department of Public Safety. The violation puts an inordinate load on the courts. Said Terry Stewart, a court administrator with the Maricopa County. People have flocked to request hearings at Phoenix courts, and at one point last year, one court branch had cases up to through 2011. You just have irate litigants and irate defendants coming in and just mad at the entire photo enforcement system in general, said Stephen Sarkis, a Maricopa County Justice of the Peace. The most high-profile protester has been Dave Von Tesmar, who has achieved statewide fame through his efforts to fight the tickets with a monkey mask. The 47-year-old flight attendant has allegedly sped past the camera at least 40 times. His defense: there's no way to prove that he was wearing the mask, he says. Lots of people he adds drives his car. Von Tesmar, who signed up for the military on his 17th birthday, says he does not fancy himself a criminal. Amid empty soda cans on the floor of his white station wagon are various rubber disguises, including the famous monkey mask, a Frankenstein koala, and panda bear and ghost mask that glows in the dark. So far, he's even got one that glows in the dark. That's funny. So far, 4 of Von Tesmar's cases have been dismissed, and he's been found responsible for 7. The remaining 29 are pending, said Von Tesmar's attorney, Michael Kielski. In December, the Maricopa County Courts launched a pilot program specifically designed to handle the photo enforcement hearing caseload. On one particular day, about 30 people sat in various courtrooms to fight their tickets. Pearson of Cave Creek, Arizona, came prepared with a manila folder. It says, how do you know this is my car? She asked the judge. Do you know if I'm a registered driver? With each question, Judge Don Callender's irritation became more apparent in his monotone voice. Were you driving? Yes or no? He replied. Were you speeding? Yes or no? It's pretty simple. In the end, she paid the fine. Pearson, 58, said she basically lives on the freeway in her work. Her job, a freelance court interpreter. It says among the dissenters fighting photo enforcement are members of the citizens group, the Arizona Citizens Against Photo Radar. In Maricopa County, where 92% of Arizona's violations occur, volunteers have been on the streets for about a year gathering signatures for the 2010 ballot initiative to remove the cameras. On December afternoon, Sean Dow, chairman of the group, and 2 volunteers gathered signatures at the Arizona State University basketball game. So, yeah, guys, you can check the rest of this out. I don't think I'll really get to the rest, but it says the Arizona legislature is considering multiple bills to alter and or end the photo enforcement system, and Governor Jan Brewer is encouraging the legislature to place a referendum on the November ballot so voters can decide whether to scrap the system. Another dissenter is John Keegan, a judge for the Arrowhead Justice Court, who has called for the cameras as a constitutional violation. He rejects every photo radar ticket that comes before him. So there you go. And Keegan has dismissed more than 7,000 violations. So thank you everybody for checking out this Big Brother story here in Arizona.